Live from the WCTV studios, this is the Good Morning Show. Coverage you can count on.
Hurricane Irma now moving through Florida. This is a live look from West Palm Beach, where winds and rain have picked up in that area. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Myers. Thank you for joining us for a special edition of the Good Morning Show Weekend Edition.
I'm Denise Toussaint. People all across Florida preparing for Irma, watching and waiting to see where the hurricane goes. Rob Nugutola is standing by with all of the updates on Irma. Rob, what can you tell us this morning?
Well, the 7 o'clock numbers are going to show us that Irma still has 130-mile-per-hour sustained winds. That's Category 4 strength, and it's awfully close to Key West, about 15 miles southeast of Key West, where they've been taking a pretty good lashing for the past several hours. The movement north and northwest at 8 miles per hour. Now, we'll see on the radar, it looks like it's wobbling maybe a little bit more north and northeast. But anyway, we're splitting hairs. This storm is going to cross the Keys and head up towards someplace on the Florida west coast, Florida southwest coast. And as that happens, that's going to make for a very interesting run as we go through the next little while, because that will absolutely bring some pretty dangerous weather to those areas. Now, from that, where it goes is going to be incredibly important for our area, and there's going to be a whole bunch of different ideas of where it could go, where it is going to go, and what it's going to do for us. Now, we'll take a look and see that over the next several hours, it's still going to be over the Gulf waters. Now, that's one of those issues where it can continue to ramp up strength. And remember that from west to east across the Florida Peninsula, it's only about 100 miles, give or take. The storm itself is more than 200 miles wide, so that means the entire Florida Peninsula is going to get a lot of wind and a lot of rain from it today. Where it makes that landfall and when, going to be extra important. The more east it goes, the more it tucks in, the more it's going to adjust where it goes. And I know everyone's going to get all excited when we see a number 1 over here in someplace close to Tallahassee by tomorrow afternoon. It will be a much weaker version of what we see today by the time it gets here tomorrow. I still do think we're talking wind and rain. We still do have hurricane and tropical storm warnings for our entire area, which means we do expect those type conditions within the next 48 hours. We're expecting them within the next 36 hours. Here's what it looks like on the radar, and you can see as it moves north, it kind of wobbles quite a bit between the Keys and Cuba. As it gets closer and closer to the Keys, for a little while it looked like it was tucking more towards the east. Now it looks like it's kind of bouncing back a little bit more to the west. That center, maybe not as well defined as it once was, but still a very strong system with lots of wind and lots of rain. Look at how expansive it is. We're talking more than 400 miles north of the system. We're seeing some of the rain, and we're likely going to find more. What kind of winds are we dealing with? Right now, not overly impressive. Yeah, close to the storm, the winds are 60 to 80 miles per hour, but everybody else much more manageable as of now. I expect that to change. I still expect a lot to change, guys. We'll have lots to talk about throughout the morning and, of course, all day long, so please keep checking in with us.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. 7:03 right now is our time. Residents across the entire state are bracing for Irma.
Meg Oliver is in Miami with the latest.
Hurricane Irma's outer bands are pummeling parts of southern Florida with heavy rain and powerful winds as the eye of the storm creeps closer to the state. Already, more than 200,000 homes and businesses in the area have lost power, including a high school in Key West used as a shelter.
I've seen a lot of people that were borderline crying, wishing they would have left. I've asked a lot of them, why didn't you leave? And they said, I didn't think it'd be that bad.
Irma is expected to rip through the Florida Keys as a Category 4 storm today before unleashing life-threatening winds and deadly storm surge, especially along the west coast.
Do not think the storm is over when the wind slows down. The storm surge will rush in and it could kill you.
Although Irma has shifted west, here in Miami, forecasters say the city could still see a storm surge of 4 to 6 feet.
Amid the uncertainty, Florida residents flock to evacuation centers.
We're stupid. We should have come to the shelters a day or two ago.
Donnell Rogers Jr., his daughter Gina, and their family pet are hunkered down in this St. Petersburg school.
I hope it goes by pretty fast so we can get home fast.
Irma's new projected path is putting St. Petersburg on track for a direct hit. Meg Oliver, CBS News, Miami.
Incredible seeing already some of the damage in South Florida. Irma is forecast to stretch into Georgia, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and Alabama. President Trump has already issued emergency declarations for some of those areas.
Well, more than 6 million Floridians are under evacuation orders right now. Several voluntary evacuations now in effect in our area, too. Those include Leon County, Lowndes, and Colquitt counties.
Mandatory evacuations also in effect for some local counties. Those include Lafayette, Coastal Wakulla, and Taylor counties, as well as mobile homes and low-lying areas in Madison and Suwannee counties.
As we mentioned, Leon County announced a voluntary evacuation on Saturday.
Our Tiffany Lewis was at that meeting. Tiffany, what exactly does a voluntary evacuation mean?
A voluntary evacuation is not a reason for panic, but what it tells citizens is that if you want to evacuate, you should do so sooner rather than later. This voluntary evacuation order in Leon County was issued Saturday around 4 p.m. and will be effective until Sunday at 8 p.m. At that time, the county is asking anyone that's still in the area to please seek shelter immediately and prepare for up to 18 hours of storm conditions. The county wants to make sure all citizens have ample opportunity to evacuate if they choose to do so.
Well, as we've seen the forecast track with Irma, it's continuing to drift westward. Our threat for hurricane force winds is increasing, and that increases the danger to the area. We want to make sure people have all avenues to stay safe in a situation like this.
The county says residents can expect utility outages in the area and encourages them to evacuate if that will cause them discomfort. The county is asking residents to weigh out all options before choosing to evacuate, and they're also encouraging residents who aren't evacuating to avoid the roadways as much as possible. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Tiffany. Well, there's also many shelters around town, Tallahassee area, for those needing a place to stay during the storm.
Including one at Childs High School. That's at 7200 Lawton Childs Lane in Tallahassee.
School's just off of Thomasville Road in North Tallahassee, where we find Erica Fernandez. Erica, what can you tell us about the shelter? What's happening there right now?
Good morning, guys. This is one of 7 shelters here in Leon County, here at Childs High School. And I'm actually joined right now with a resident from South Florida, Paul Aversa. Good morning, Paul. And you were telling me a little bit ago about your story and how you got here. Kind of tell me briefly again about that.
Okay, we're evacuees from South Florida. We were really scared about the situation because of, all the information regarding this hurricane. So we did not hesitate after we secured our home to come up here immediately. And it was a 12-hour drive, but we got here. And here we are in this wonderful place, which these people here from the Red Cross at this shelter took us in immediately. And I want to thank Mrs. Jeanette Sawyer. She is a resident of Thomasville, across the street from a park, a small park on Thomasville, and I don't know the cross street's name. I'm feeling so bad about that. But I want everybody to know this woman, a resident of this wonderful town, Tallahassee. She guided us in her car after she looked relentlessly on her computer to make sure that we had our safe haven. She looked up hotels which she couldn't find, as we couldn't as well, and R&Bs as we couldn't as well. But she did not stop until she finally found us something, and she came with us and she spoke with these people, and she made sure that everything was good with us. So we thank the wonderful residents of the community of Tallahassee. We love you guys.
Yeah, we're already hearing great and heroic stories right here out of our own county in Tallahassee. And again, this is just one of 7 shelters here in Leon County that are open for people that need to find some shelter. And this is one of 3 pet-friendly shelters. This one, though, and Canopy Oaks Elementary, already at full capacity. Now, we have over 40 other shelters in our viewing area. You can find a full list of those on our website, WCTV.tv. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Erica. Appreciate that report.
Glad she was able to talk to one of the evacuees. There are so many of them here in town. And as she mentioned, there are 40 shelters all across our viewing area. And if you need to get to a shelter, you and your family, you can log on to our website, WCTV.tv, for all of the latest information.
Well, in South Georgia, this shelter serving hundreds of evacuees in Valdosta. It's at the Cross Point Church on North Valdosta Road. They're working to accommodate as many people as they can right there. It will stay open, they say, as long as folks need it.
Florida State football fans have to hang on a little bit longer for the next football game. The Noles' upcoming game against Miami has been pushed back due to Irma.
That's right. Our Kenny Morales is in the newsroom with more on what happened there. Kenny?
Hey guys, now we already saw Hurricane Irma wash away the Noles home opener against Louisiana Monroe. There was some talk that the FSU-Miami game could possibly be moved. Well, the ACC making it official on Saturday night, announcing that Florida State's home game against the Canes that was originally slated for September 16th has now been rescheduled for October 7th. Next time the Noles will take the field for a game won't be until September 23rd. That's when they host the NC State Wolfpack. Now, another game that we'll be keeping our eyes on is the Tampa Classic between FAMU and Tennessee State that was supposed to be played next Saturday down in Tampa. As of right now, game is still scheduled to be played. Of course, we'll keep you up to date on that one as well. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Kenny. And as a reminder, all Leon County schools are closed on Monday, tomorrow, as well as Tuesday. Gadsden County schools remaining closed until Wednesday, September 13. Florida State, FAMU, TCC, and Thomas University will be closed until Friday. And Valdosta State is still set to resume classes as of now on Wednesday, but that's pending the aftermath of Hurricane Irma.
As changes are made, you can stay up to date with the latest by visiting our website, WCTV.tv. School closures, shelter information, the very latest on weather conditions as well will be added as information comes in to us.
Our weather team will also be doing Facebook Lives throughout the day and the next few days as well. We will be airing several special newscasts. Our next newscast will be at 11 a.m. to noon today. We'll also be airing an hour-and-a-half newscast from 5 to 6:30 and again at 11 p.m., keeping you updated on everything you need to know for Irma.
All right, very good. Well, right after the break, Rob will have another look at your forecast and the very latest on the track for Irma.
And our Charles Roop will answer some of your most asked Irma questions. Stay tuned.